Welcome to all of you out there, my astrology friends. Welcome to this little video for, well, little, I don't know about that, but it's for all the signs and an introduction as well. And it's just exclusively about the lunar eclipse that is about to happen round at about the 5th of May. Of this year. We're going to have what we call a lunar eclipse, which is a full moon with the sun in Taurus opposing the moon in Scorpio. And it's in the midst of the signs. So it's approximately around 14 degrees. 14 degrees of Scorpio, 14 degrees of Taurus, and the nodes are involved. So we have the south node in Scorpio, we have the north node in Taurus, and therefore it is called a lunar eclipse. Let's talk about this. It's an eclipse that is quite unique in itself, and the best way that I can put it in how to handle this, before I even explain it, is it reminds me so much of that song. I don't know who wrote the song or who's the singer, but it is called Calm Down. Calm Down. You know, it's what they show at TikToks, you know, they dance that calm down, calm down. Da, 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 da. It's that song. Put on that song whilst definitely now, because now we are between eclipses. I'm recording this on the, 2021, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 27th, the 27th of April. It's King's Day in the Netherlands. I'm not in the Netherlands, but I go to the Netherlands today. Anyway, I'm rambling. But I just want to make this video as light as possible because it's not, right? This energy is not light at all. It's, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know how I should have a look at what other astrologers are saying about this lunar eclipse because it's in Scorpio, and I don't know how it is with other astrologers, but I know that when I put on a video about Scorpio, it's like double views. So I'm very aware of what I'm saying. And I want to be, I'm that kind of astrologer. It's not that, hey, I'm just always optimistic and blah, blah. No, not at all. Not at all. It's about seeing the darkness and putting light on it so that the darkness vanishes. Period. I mean, I can stop here. That's the whole clue of this lunar eclipse. It's about darkness. It's about secrets. It's about all the taboos that you can imagine that can be brought up to the surface, not in order to annoy, but in order to transform, because the whole thing about Scorpio, let me put it, first of all, what's going on here with Scorpio. A lot of people are afraid of the sign of Scorpio. You can be afraid of it, or you can, even with the fear, you can go through it and you can say, hey, I want to know, I want to know the best out of this sign. The lowest vibration of Scorpio, the modern ruler, the ancient ruler is Mars, which is the warrior, and the modern ruler is Pluto, which is the underground, right? It's all the stuff that happens in the dark from, use your imagination. Anyway, but the thing is, if you face it, if you face the demons, if you face the shadow, and we all have we all have Scorpio in our chart. We all have, actually, it's a bit of a superpower that you have, but first of all, you face it. That's the power of Scorpio. You face the darkness, you look at it, and you transform it. That is in my humble opinion, the beauty of this lunar eclipse. We have an amazing opportunity. It's not only Scorpio, it's with the South Node, which is about release, letting go of all toxicity, letting go of compulsions, of obsessions, of things that are not good for you, that are going to harm you. And Scorpio is like that as well. So it's a double whammy. And we have Uranus in the picture. Uranus is conjuncting the sun and opposing the moon, which again is like the universe talking to us, hey, it's time to liberate yourself. It's time to cut the cords with the toxicity in your life, whatever it is. And when we talk about toxicity, because this is an opposition, right? When we talk about toxicity in life, which is a very Scorpio thing, it's the alchemy, right? It's the alchemist. The lower vibration of Scorpio is, of course, you could say manipulation, seduction, destruction, all that kind of thing. The good thing about Scorpio is healing. It's the sign that faces the trauma, and because of that heals from it and becomes stronger and knows how to deal with it in a way that is constructive in their lives. That's also Scorpio. So you see, it's like huge. It's extremes. It's the sign of the extremes. It's an extreme eclipse for sure. It's an extreme full moon for sure. Not only because of the Scorpio energy, but also because of the Uranus energy. Uranus is also about, I want extreme breaking open of something, waking up calls. That's very Uranian. Of course, we don't have to be scared of it, because if we want to put our heads in the sand, we can do that. And we can continue, of course. And then we will have to have another event or other circumstances that are even worse, so that we do wake up. So we always have free will to go with the vibe or not. So resisting this energy is definitely not what I recommend. It's actually going with that energy of, it's the ego. The ego, it's ruled by Mars, right? This eclipse, and Mars is in Cancer. So it's emotional. It's about emotional, deep emotional stuff. Our security is involved here. So when that is a fact, what does a mom when her children are attacked? It protects, right? But with all of this energy, it's actually about surrendering. It's actually about surrendering and about the ego, like, putting your ego in line with the divine. I can't put it in other words, because if you're not going to follow your integrity, this can be a very dark space, you could say, in the upcoming week. And it's not only on the 5th, bang, the full moon. It's an eclipse. So this eclipse is all about, you could say, this is going to have consequences in the long run. So what to do? I don't want to scare you, and I hope I'm not giving up that vibe. On the contrary, welcome it and be ready. And start from today to follow your integrity as much as you can, to put out as how would I say, as little or actually none toxic energy at all. And what do I mean by toxic energy? Trying to control things, trying to force things, trying to manipulate things. If you're going to do that, you're going to see the dark. You are inviting the dark side of Scorpio. If you're saying, hey, I'm going to be accountable. What has happened has happened. I'm going to become a higher version of myself, a higher version of a woman, or a higher version of the man that I already am. And yes, that is humbling, isn't it? And that is what this eclipse is all about. It's an opportunity for that. So, of course, for some people, this will not be so drastic. But we all have Scorpio somewhere in our chart. So for one person, it's going to be work. For another person, it's going to be a relationship. For another person, it's going to be their finances, and so on. So everyone is going to deal with this energy. And because we are now between eclipses, it's actually the silence before the storm, you could say. Because with the full moon in Scorpio, things that are hidden are going to come to light. So you better already start. If there is stuff that you want to say, that you have to say, and that demands courage, that demands a higher version of yourself, please do it. Do it. Even, it's going to humble you. It's not, you're not going to die from it. It feels like that. It's the ego. It's the ego dead, right? So use this with care, this energy, and try to land. And that is the song with calm down, and I make a joke out of it, but it's actually no joke. It's like calm down and land so that you are secure in you, and everything around you that is happening. And if you've noticed that a lot is happening around you and also or inside of you, it's good. It's good, actually. Actually, if you would watch this video and you would say, Veerle, what the hell are you talking about? Nothing is happening. Oof. it is like, ooh, with Uranus, because with Uranus, expect the unexpected. It's always like that in Uranus. You're just out of the blue, but it's not out of the blue because it has been bottled up. You know, the combination of Moon in Scorpio, Mars in Cancer, wow, that's bottled up energy. You know, it's putting it under the surface, it's suppressing it, which is good for the short run, but in the long run, it's going to come out, and it's going to come out when you don't want it to come out. So it's better to face it before, even in little pieces. And this lunar eclipse belongs to the Saros cycle 7 North, which I talked about in the monthly horoscopes as well, which is all about the hidden passions that we have, right? So we can all have hidden passions. And when I talk about hidden passions, it's not only about sexuality that I mean. You can have a hidden passion that there is one job to promote at the company that you work, and you want it. But you know, another person wants it as well, and you're competing and you're doing things behind the surface and so on. That is also a hidden passion, right? So I talk about this in a very broad perspective. So hidden passions, especially when they are bottled up, you can't transform them. You can't work with them, right? So when you feel that drive, it's not healthy. It's not healthy, and it needs a way out. So it's better to think about it, how you can, in a healthy way, have a way out, and have a way out to release this. And so that you are working with the energy rather than resist. Because if you're going to resist this energy, it's going to be even worse, right? So, of course, this lunar eclipse, this moon in Scorpio, which is again about hidden stuff, taboo, anything that you think of taboo, it's about that. It's about huge transformations. It's not about, oh, I have a job and I want to have another job, and I'm going and I'm going to change that job. That is a transformation. No. It's about the dentist, for instance. Let's say you're a dentist, and he's done, or she is done with the job, and it's a part of their identity that dies, and they're going to become a yoga teacher, whatever. That is that is the sort of energy that I'm talking about. It's extreme. So, but if you want to have the best version of yourself, if you're watching this video, at least one thing we have in common, which is I want to go up, right? I want to improve myself. And I think that is something that you want as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't be attracted to a video of mine. So if that is the case, this can be one of the most rewarding times. Because of the efforts that you did before, you are going to be rewarded for sure. That is the other side of Scorpio, which is the authenticity, the realness, the rawness, and the truth. So, for instance, think about the fact that, let's say we have a couple, and there are some things that the couple is hiding for each other because they know my woman or my man, they can't handle the truth, so I'm going to hide it, right? And then you could say, yeah, but I want to have the truth. I want to know the truth. But once the truth is said, they can't deal with it. You see what I mean? Like, for instance, let's say that I don't want that my man is smoking because that would give him a heart attack. Yeah, I'm laughing, but it's reality. Anyway, again, so I could say, hey, I don't want that so strongly that that man of mine is not going to say it because he knows that I can't handle the truth. You see what I mean? So be sure that you can handle the truth and welcome it. Also, because truths are going to come out for sure with this eclipse, and expect the unexpected. It can be for better and it can be for worse. Let's hope it's for better. Let's hope it's information that comes to us, because Mercury is also there in the mix, which is information, that we know where we stand. And that is revealing, isn't it? Also, don't forget that Venus is square. It has just squared Neptune before this eclipse. What does that mean? Venus is relationships. Neptune is blah, blah. I'm in la la land. I'm in, the prince on the white horse. Or for you men out there, the woman who's perfect, right? It's illusion. It's illusion. It's not real. And we know that we're doing it. Consciously or unconsciously, we kind of know. Afterwards, we say, oh yeah, I knew. Yeah, I did. I did really try to date this guy, but I'm thinking now of what is that on television? Those people who meet online and then after 2 years they still haven't met, and then it's that kind of energy, right? We kind of invite not knowing or not wanting to see the truth because it hurts too much, and it keeps us protected. So there is energy in general for all of us around relationships, right? Venus square Neptune that we are totally not seeing. Again, it could be for better as well. It could be, for instance, that you think, oh, that person is not good. That person, let's say you have that in the area of friends, and that you think, oh, that person is really is not good at all. Venus passes Neptune, and you see, because of some actions of them, you see, hey, they're actually quite good. They're actually better than I thought. So let's hope it's that. But of course, it can be the other way around as well. So we are coming out of energy on a relationship energy that we've been all a bit in la la land. And what a wake-up call this is. My goodness me. It really is. And I notice it in the readings that I'm getting. It's always like that, by the way. I think I don't know how other astrologers, if another astrologer is watching, please do comment on this. If you're also getting so many readings when there is an eclipse coming, right? So anyway, but it's a good thing. Right? So we are going to land, we are going to have to calm down so that we are ready to see the truth, right? And you can do that by grounding yourself, by listening to that song, for instance, or doing other things, but by grounding yourself, and also that knowing that what is taken away from you at this particular time, because we're talking about Scorpio endings, we're talking about Scorpio, the moon with the south node, which is, you could say, something is eclipsed out of your life, right? But again, it can be a goal that is eclipsed out of your life. It doesn't have to all to be so drastic. It's only going to be drastic for people who've got planets there, right? Planets or aspects. But I'm not going into that too much here. So, but what an opportunity we have to kind of, it's like the universe is really like saying, look, back on track, please. Thank you very much. It's that kind of energy. So let the universe work for us. If something is getting destroyed in front of your eyes, and when it's painful, it has to be that way. It's that plutonic energy of Scorpio. It has to be that way. It's ready. And we don't always decide when something is ready to go or not. I mean, that we're not gods, right? We do have a lot of power. We do, but we don't have all the power. So, my goodness me, was that a rambling? But anyway, it wasn't rambling. I hope it gives you power. My goal in these videos is always to empower you, not to scare you. And if this scares you, get away. Must empower you. Let's look at the signs, and very shortly, just for the area of life, where we are at our best, that we don't resist the letting go of it and let the universe do its work and following the integrity. Let's start with Aries. This is in your 8th house. So for Aries, with this Scorpio and the South Node and so on in the 8th house, this is definitely about, it's the house of the Scorpio. So it's definitely about endings. And it's definitely about some sort of an event that can happen. That is actually a bit out of your control. It's out of your control. And, because the 8th house is associated with transformation. It's associated already with death and rebirth and, all that kind of stuff. And so for you, definitely, it's very important for you to ground yourself, to stick to your own values, to stay with you, because you've got that whole stellium of energy in your 2nd house. So you are learning here now with that North Node and all of that, to how to strengthen yourself by working on yourself. By working on yourself. So don't point the finger to someone else too much with this energy. See how it goes. And it's going to be, for you in particular, it's going to be very much some sort of a release, some sort of fear release, some sort of deep psychological stuff that might come up for you, and some crisis that might come up for you. But that was meant to be. You can't put it in other words. And that is actually there for you to empower you and to rely on you and not so much on others. I'm not saying you don't need anyone. You don't need anyone. No, but it's follow your integrity, do what you've got to do, and you can't go wrong. Taurians, my goodness me. This is in your opposite sign. This is in your relationships. But the good news is that all of that energy, it's the moon in Scorpio, but it's the sun in Taurus. It's the North Node in Taurus. It's Uranus in Taurus. You are ready to wake up. You are more than ever. I've been talking about this for a long time to you Taurians, but more than ever, you're ready to wake up. And more than ever, you have now an energy to cut the cords with someone that is very toxic towards you, right? And the 7th house is mostly, it's a romantic partner, but it can also be a business partner. So if someone is really doing you wrong, there could be something that is brought up and that you're not tolerating this time. And but it's going to be painful, but in the long run, you kind of are a new person, right? It can also be like your client. If you work with people, it can be a particular client that is really manipulating you and all of that kind of stuff. And now you're saying your boundaries. Okay. So of course, because it's a full moon, it's double, right? So make sure that you are also not manipulating, not hiding stuff, and be as open as you can, and you cannot go wrong. But especially when you've got planets between 14 degrees. So if you're born around the 5th of May and a couple of days before and after, you're going to feel this very strongly. But know that it's for your own good and that it's for newness in the future. Geminis, this is happening in your 12th house. In your 6th house. This is happening in your 6th house. Well, actually, yes, the sun is in the 12th house and so on. But the moon, which is where you need to let go of stuff, is in your 6th house. That is in big chunks. It is your day-to-day life. Work is included in that. If you're not working, it's your routines. It's the way that you work. It's also your health, your mental health. And my nose is having a bit of a problem. And I'm sorry, Geminis, but I'm going to ask you to have 2 seconds. I know this is not really, but otherwise I'm going to have this thing going on. And you know, you're Gemini. I hope you're going to laugh with this. I hope you will. I hope you will. But you have to excuse me a second. A second. My goodness me. This is better. This is so sorry. Mea culpa, Gemini. This is always in the sign of Gemini. I don't know why. But it's probably because you're that sign that says, oh, she's funny. Or she's a bit crazy, isn't she? But hey, my nose was running, so I solved it. Okay? Now, I'm going to make this a little bit longer for you because you waited for me, okay? So, dear Geminis, your 6th house, in big chunks, you could say it's your day-to-day life, your work, and it's your health. So, something needs to go. That has to do with, that is not healthy. Actually, this is a very simple, isn't it? It's like your job could not be healthy, could be full of toxicity, and you have to go to take a trip or go far away or relax, and so that you can, behind the scenes in the 12th house, think about how you can solve this. So it could be that for lots of you that there is a transformation going on with a job, right? With work that is not your soul, that is not following your authenticity. You have to harm yourself to keep on going there. And my goodness me, that is not a nice state to be in. For others, this has to do nothing with work. This has to do with your health. This has to do with some routine that is toxic. And I mean, I don't have to make a picture, right? Whether it is using too much alcohol, whether it is using too much sugar, you name it. This is the time to cut the cords. And all of a sudden, let's hope that you will say, I stop this. I'm only going to drink in the weekend, for instance. Or no cigarettes anymore. Thank you. Nope, not going to do that. All that sugar, gonna quit it. You know, that's the kind of thing. And you are going through a tremendous amount of energy in that 12th house, which is your connection with the unseen world, but in a positive way, which is very spiritual. So what a transit that is for you when you want to change your daily life. I mean, on a daily level, that's very, very good. Cancerians, of course, Mars is in your sign. So this is quite important for you because the ruler of this full moon is in your sign. Mars is in your sign. So you're going to get, to say the least, pretty emotional around this time. But you're used to that. You're used to the moods. I mean, after all, you're a Cancerian. You're here to develop that and to feel. You're here to feel. Although, in the 5th house, it's in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio goes very well with Cancer. So, I mean, this is very fluent energy. So don't resist it. Don't resist it. If things need to come up around the 5th house, let it come out. It's going to be humbling and blah, 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 and all the things that I said in the beginning. What is the 5th house? The 5th house is a couple of things. In big chunks, it's your children if you have them, or creating children, if you know what I mean. It's your expression. It's your heart. It's what you want. It's what you need in life. That's the 5th house. And for some of you, it's also, you know, doing sports, doing hobbies, doing what we enjoy in life. You know, going to a cafe, it's the 5th house. Going to have a drink with some friends and have fun, the 5th house. Doing some sports that you like, the 5th house. It's your business that you want to start up, which is actually your creation. It's the 5th house. So all of this stuff, there's something about this 5th house that is not healthy, that needs to go. An attitude, it can be an attitude. It can be an attitude. It can be literally a person that is not good for you, that you have to let go of. Or it has to do with a style that how you express yourself that is not good and that you have to cut cords with. And you're doing that. And you're getting support from this opposite house, which is the 11th house, which are your friends. So get help from the friends that you trust and that you feel good with. They can help you with that, whatever it is, you know. It could be a child as well, if you that is going through a phase that is very transformative. You could be having a child that is leaving home, and you know that causes a lot of drama, or that is a huge transformation for you. But know that this is necessary and actually good in the long run. You know, all these kind of things. So the 5th house is really things from the heart. So if you are single, you could be dealing with someone that is not really good for you, right? And that there is something about them or you that is not healthy. Doesn't mean to say that this relationship needs to totally end or whatever, but know that there is energy there that needs to be brought up and needs to be spoken about, and it's better in the long run, right? If you are in a relationship, there could be some things that need to be spoken of. Communicate. And if you don't know how, do it in small steps and communicate this and bring it into the open, because otherwise it's not going to be beautiful, right? So use your courage to tackle this. It's not the end of the world, not at all. It's when there is problems in your love life, because the 5th house is your love life. Talk about it. Bring it up. And in your case, say what you need. And stand up for yourself as well, because otherwise, again, it's not going to be healthy. So watch power struggles as well and power games. Don't do that, you know. And if people do that to you, run. But again, you have to go towards that 11th house, which is your new goals for the future, which is friends that support you, that are maybe a bit strange because it's Uranus. Maybe they come from a different background. Maybe they are a bit weird in your eyes, but they can help you with that. Anyway, for some of you, it could also be a business that you wanted to start, or a project in a good way. But there's going to be some drama here. But in a good way, it could mean a project that ends, right? It could be a project that you've been doing for work and so on, and it ends now. And you can focus on new goals for your future. So yes, but don't hold on to what is not healthy. Anyway, Leos, very important for you, Leos, because you are a fixed sign, and this is happening in a fixed sign of the sign of Taurus, and Scorpio. So if you're a Leo, having planets in the midst of the sign, 14, 15 degrees, you're going to feel it tremendously. This is in the core of your horoscope. This is big emotional stuff. There's a lot of things from childhood that can be brought up here. And it's not to annoy you. And it's not to, but you might be thinking like, oh, I thought I've dealt with that. You know, it's that kind of energy that I'm seeing here. I thought I dealt with that. I thought I was, you know, it's like the peeling of the onion. And again, another one. I thought I managed that. I thought I was above that. But this is just an upgrade that you're getting. This is an upgrade in your attitude, your emotional fight and flight state. There are some things that can be shown to you. Don't fool yourself. Look at yourself. Don't run away from yourself. What is this saying? If there is triggers, if you are very emotionally triggered, which is probably the case with this energy. And Mars is in your 12th house. So watch out for self-undoing energy, right? Don't say, oh, pity me, I'm always like that, blah, blah, blah. That's the self-pity and the sabotaging of the self. But face it, what you've buried, what you haven't healed yet. This is a beautiful opportunity for healing. An amazing opportunity for childhood healing, traumas in the childhood. And we all had them. I mean, yes, some people have more than others. This is not a game of who's got have it worse or not. This is about healing it by bringing it to the surface, by looking at it and transforming it And how do you do that? By going to the 10th house, which is, what is your place in this world? For people who've got a job, this could be a new opportunity in a job. For people who don't have a job, don't want a job, or don't have a job, this is, what can I contribute to planet Earth in a positive way, in a new way, in an innovative way, in a real way? Very good indeed. Virgos, this is happening in your 3rd house. Now, I think in general, depending on other things in your horoscope, if you've got, of course, something in Scorpio or in Taurus, that's a whole other story. But if not, this is a pretty good energy. You are a sign, Virgo, that is mercurial, that wants to know the truth, right? And that can deal with it, even if it's taboo, because your 3rd house is Scorpio, right? So you're used to talk about things that are not so easy. You can deal with that. And with that lunar eclipse, things could come out that is not so beautiful. It could mean your speech. So watch your speech. Watch your speech. If you think that you're with Phil, and we are all human, that you feel like, my voice is going to cut, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not only harming others, it's harming you. So try to transform it, go for a run, a walk, write it out, journal, all that kind of stuff, so that you can heal that. And you can focus on the bigger picture, which is all that energy in your 9th house, your connection with the divine, my goodness me, is strengthening enormously. So go for that. Don't go for, the downside of Virgo, which is the tongue that is just harming others. Just don't do that. It could mean, if you're saying, Veerle, what the hell are you talking about? You're Virgo, you're watching this video, say, Veerle, what the hell are you talking about? Who do you think you are? I'm not like that. And probably there's going to be some information that was secret, that was all of a sudden not unexpected, that is going to land in your email, in your phone, whatever. So, and it's about this taboo energy. It's about, the 3rd house is also people in your neighborhood, people that you know, siblings, neighbors. So there could be some endings and new beginnings happening there. Some toxicity that needs to go there for you. And although it might be painful, especially when it's about a person that you care for, it's better to, if that is the truth, it is the truth. But you will deal with that for sure. And again, you are one of those signs that, because your energy trines Taurus, your energy sextile Scorpio, in general, you will be fine. Librans, this is your 2nd house. So what is it that you need to let go of? You could say the least harmful thing for you is really to declutter. And that is because the 2nd house is our possessions, it's our clothes, it's our car, it's our computer and whatever. So what is toxic in your house? Books that are actually scary for you, right? I mean, literally, it could be some horror books that you say, I'm getting away from it. This is really mundane, but it could be. Whatever it is that is not working for you, that is food as well. The food that you're taking in that is toxic. Do I have to make a picture of this? This is a time where you can cut the cords. And you go towards processing and towards strengthening your psyche. That 8th house, it's a full house in your 8th house. So you're definitely going through transformation. And definitely through big things as well. But first, you need to let go of something that you are holding on to that is dear to you and that has served you for a long time. And I'm talking about practical stuff now. I'm not talking so much about people. I'm more talking about the practical things, the things that, this is mine, and you need to let go for it. Maybe because of financial circumstances, you have to sell something, right? It's that kind of energy. And in the long run, remember, this is to put you into a place that is better for you. So don't resist it. On another level, it could mean your self-worth, right? There is something toxic about how you see yourself. That is a whole thing. That is a whole video in itself. So go and watch those videos, or coaches, or whatever, or Google how you can improve that, how you can improve how you view yourself and how you love yourself better. There's something around your attitude about the self-love that is not so good here. But that's why this eclipse is for, to take it away and to start all over. Very interesting energy. Scorpios, wow. If you are a Scorpio, or you've got planets between 14 degrees, you're gonna feel this. You're gonna feel this. But as I have my Venus in Scorpio, I have my ruler in Scorpio. So I'm talking not only out of experience of working with a lot of Scorpios and so on, but also how Scorpio really feels. We love that, don't we? We, on the one hand, we don't like it because it's painful, but after that happens, we say, yes, it's freeing up. It's going to be very freeing up energy for you if you let it. And it's part of you that need to go. There's something about yourself that is toxic. And it's in a relationship. And toxic, I mean, that is not healed yet, right? So it's easy to say, hey, you're toxic, you're toxic. It's not healed yet. So you have an opportunity to say goodbye to that part of you. Whether it can be it's about traits. It's about your character, the first house. It's about your persona. Maybe you have a character of always helping others, right? Always helping others and forgetting yourself, which is toxic in a way, right? If you do that all the time. You can have a persona of always trying to control things, right? Because of your trauma in childhood, for instance, where you didn't have any power. And now you're trying to control everyone, or your spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend. And that needs to let go of. Or you say, I always attract toxic people. Why is that? It's a boundary thing, right? So there's a lot of, I think a lot of Scorpios are leveling up. I feel that around me. I feel that the Scorpios that I know, the Scorpio risings, they are really taking a huge step. But it's humbling. It's looking at yourself. It's looking at your darkness, and it's transforming that. And if you can do that, you can deal better with other people's darknesses. You know that because you're a Scorpio. Because there are always going to be dark people around you, right? You can't say, don't be dark. That's not working. It's how you deal with it. So what an opportunity for you. If you are in a relationship, it could really mean that you are shifting your energy so much, and that other person, it has to go with you, or it's not. But this is something that you know. Don't freak out now. It's something that you know already, because this is like the eclipses in those signs are going on for a while. If you are single, this could definitely mean attracting a new person with that North Node over there in the 7th house, and at the least expected it. It could be like you're just out of a relationship, for instance, and you say, oh, no more for me. I mean, that was hard. I have to lick my wounds and I have to come to myself, and there they are. There's someone there. I would say go for it, right? I would say at least open up and don't close off totally, right? It shows that a new person is there, new opportunities. Sagittarians, this is in your 12th house. The 12th house is this is a triple whammy for you. It's not only Scorpio, release, South Node, release, 12th house, release. This is a triple whammy of release. So I'm a Sagittarius rising as well. So I'm going to give it's nice advice that I'm going to give you. Go for a holiday if you can. Or at least, if you say, Veerle, I can't. Go for a walk around the sea. Go for something that you can relax and that you can rest in a way. So, and whilst I'm saying this, I'm just getting calm. Listen to the song of Calm Down. For sure, for sure. You need it. You need it. This is energy that shows that you've been either working too hard or or maybe some situation has demanded a lot of your energy, and now this is a good time to rest, to take some time out. This is on a very mundane level, but a lot of you Sagittarians are, going to feel it like that. And you stick towards your full sixth house, which is good, healthy routines and good diet and doing some exercises and all of that good stuff. It's for your mental, and it's not only for your physical health, but also for your mental health, right? It's that yin energy. This is yin energy for you. Absolutely. Sagittarius is a very yang sign. I mean, look at me with my Sag rising, how enthusiastic I can be. And I mean, I'm not, people think sometimes that I'm faking it, but I mean, come on, they don't know me. Anyway, but you see, it's like, calm down, rest, right? Make sure that you reload your batteries and that you can have a lot of energy to step on your horse and to go for the next adventure, right? So yeah, I love that. I love this energy for you. Capricorns, your 11th house. So your 11th house is illuminated, and these are in big chunks two things: friend circles, associations, groups of people, internet, social media and all of that, and also your goals. Oh, three things: your goals for the future, but also if you have your own business, it's also your money that you get from your business, right? So something can shift there. Let's start with the money thing. Something can shift. For better or for worse. Doesn't necessarily have to be that, oh, money is gone. No, it can mean that because you focus more on the 5th house, which is where all the energy is of self-expression, you're going to have new ways of income, right? So, but definitely if you have your own business, and the friend circles and association, it could mean that on a grander scale that you're just closing up maybe Facebook, or you're saying, nah, it's not, it's toxic because of the toxicity. This is toxic energy. So you're doing this for yourself. You're doing this because you want to go towards the 5th house, which is you, which is your self-expression, which is what you love. And you're saying, that group, it's exhausting. Or you're going to a group of people because of a workshop or whatever, and you don't feel good there. Stop it. It could be also one particular person in your circle that is not necessarily in a negative way, but that is going through some huge stuff. Help them, right? You don't have to cut the course. That's not what I mean. But if they want the help. If they want to help. But it could mean that a friend of yours is really going through a lot now and a lot of dark stuff, that something comes up that has to do with taboo around a friendship. And but the best thing you can do is to stay with you and to not involve too much, to let the drama work, to stay grounded, of course, be there for that friend, but not interfering too much. And they go through a transformation, but it has an effect on you. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so strong in your horoscope. So it's going to change your connection as well. But let's hope for the better. It could also mean, of course, that that there is toxicity between you and a friend, and that stops. I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But it can be painful, that you say, how did this happen, So yes, also, last but not least, a goal that you've always want in a good way, because this energy is very positive for you. Taurus and Capricorn goes well, and Scorpio and Capricorn is a sextile. So if it's not on a personal planet, it's quite good for you. This energy, I mean, it could mean that you have accomplished a goal, right? And now you can go fully, and your heart is like growing, right? And that is good. And you don't want to fit in. That is also a thing, that you don't want to fit in so much in a group or with like-minded people that you have to to please everyone. And no, you're going for your heart, you're going for your authenticity, and you're loving it. I like it for you. Could be romance, a new romance as well. Aquarians, the 10th house. This is important. You're a fixed sign. Very important eclipse for you, especially if you've got planets around 14 degrees. You're gonna feel that. And all that, you could say, scorpionic energy is in the highest point of your horoscope, which is for a lot of people work. It's career. If you're not working, it's how people see you on a social platform. You could say what you contribute to this world, your energy that you contribute. So let go of the toxicity of that. And especially if you are, for a lot of you Aquarians, this is going to be a new job. This is going to be letting go of a job that was toxic, letting go of an environment there that was toxic, and focusing on your emotional well-being. You've got lots of opportunity there because lots of energy in your 4th house, which is emotional security and emotional well-being. You know, you could be one of those people who are saying, I'm leaving the corporate world and I'm starting to work for myself at home, for instance. Could be that. But, you know, it can be with some frustration there because it's energy of the fixed signs, and that is a bit of tension there for you. Could also be your connection with a parent, that there is a transformation there, or a parent is going through some transformational stuff in their life. Last but not least, the Pisceans. And for Pisces, again, unless you've got planets in Scorpio, very close to that lunar eclipse, but normally for Pisceans can be really, really interesting and positive because Scorpio goes well with Pisces. It's trining your energy. It's a fellow water sign, and it's in your 9th house. So an old mindset needs to go. And normally Pisceans are, unless again you have like a moon in Scorpio or something else, or a sun in Scorpio and a Pisces rising, that could make it a bit more tricky to let go of. And but let go of an old viewpoint that is no longer working for you, and that is actually working against you. You could have a viewpoint of, for instance, I don't need anyone in my life. And that's my viewpoint of life because of your childhood, how you dealt with that and how you survived and how you dealt with life. That was your mindset, let's say. You know, the 9th house is your mindset. How do you think on a grander scale? Where do you believe in? It's your belief system, the 9th house. It's your connection with the divine. Even if you're not religious, it's your connection with everything that is, with nature, with the divine. And there is something that is not healthy for you that you need to let go of. The sooner you do that, the better, because then you're going to thrive more. You're going to be more feeling joyful in that 3rd house with all that energy there. So go on a short trip if you can. Go and do fun stuff with siblings, with neighbors. That's all 3rd house energy, with people. Surround yourself with lightness with people. And so don't stiffen up and don't become cold, which is that 9th house there in Scorpio. Release that. Release the old traumas that you had. It's time, and it's a huge opportunity here to release old trauma, old luggage, old baggage, and to go towards this fresh new start of, you know, doing things that you love, that are a bit lighter, but very important for you, right? For people who've got their own business and who have social media and so on, it could mean that they cut off cords with, because the 9th house, I see that as a house of everyone sees you. I associate that with YouTube, the 9th house, not only the 11th. So you could be changing your YouTube channel or doing another sort, or maybe closing up your Facebook and starting a YouTube channel, for instance, or shifting something there. But it's always a letting go of something and then a starting up something new, something that is way more practical, that is also fun, and that is more practical, more real, not so abstract and big and grand. but a bit more maybe in the neighborhood. You're starting a workshop, or you're starting courses. Great for you. Learn something new. Go to workshops. Go to meet some people in your neighborhood. You're going to enjoy it. Anyway, this was quite a long video, but anyway, there was a lot to talk about, wasn't there? Thank you so much, all of you, for watching this video, for supporting me, for commenting. I read every single comment, and keep on going and calm down, right? Calm down and enjoy the ride. Bye-bye.